What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so we get going. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you, because then you become a prize whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Knicks are playing good. Knicks are up double digits in the fourth. Hopefully they can hold on to that, and then we can celebrate in the chat below the lock coming to fruition, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I didn't just jinx it. Oh, great. Jalen Brunson got a technical as soon as I said that. That seems bad. 11-point game, less than 6 minutes to go. Hold on, gentlemen. That was the big stand of the day. Ended up off the Joel Embiid play. Some people talked me off of that, which worked out well for the premium Discord. Again, 4 games. There were a lot of pieces of news. It just wasn't all that appealing of a card to me. Ended up hitting the Gordon Hayward one with ease. That was nice. Points plus rebounds plus assists. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. But 4 games there. We've got 10 coming down the pipeline on Tuesday, so a lot more basketball to bet on, a lot more plays coming your way, a lot more things that I am far more interested in, but as long as the Knicks cover. And also, UNC, I just kind of ended up on that one out of spite. That was very nice, so thank you to them. Tar Heels taking care of business against a 9-21 Florida State team. Didn't know that at the time, but either way, I've got another college basketball play for you over on DraftKings. So bet $5, get yourself 150 on this college basketball play coming up a little bit later. We're undefeated on those so far this season. Again, had some sweats. This UNC one surely was not that, but we're just going to put $5 on the money line. If you haven't signed up there yet, you're going to get yourself 150 bucks when that play hits. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. I can speak the English language. There we go. Got through it. I'm telling you what, 10 games. It's been a lot of research, a lot of time put in already. I'm ready to rock. Hopefully you are too. Let's get to the picks. The day begins with Hawks hosting the Wizards. On the injury front, it's all Wizards as Kristaps Porzingis is doubtful. Monty Morris, shout out Iowa State, is questionable. Most likely the same situation where we wait around for Morris. But Delon Wright is basically a one-for-one swap. They'll play some Kendrick Nunn there too. Nothing really changes on this game or prop front with his news. In fact, this is probably my least favorite game to bet on the entire slate. Glad to get out of the way early. And whenever this total drops, which I'm sure it'll drop at some point, see, it's NA. That means there's no total yet. That's what it means. Guys, there's no total. Honestly, maybe the Hawks money line is a parlay piece, but it's juiced pretty heavily. I don't know. Should we just get out of here? I should stop talking. We'll roll with that for now. Hawks money line. Lean that way, but don't bet it. But if you want to parlay something, take this. But like legitimately, this game sucks. We move on. Next up, we had a big shakeup here with Bucks and Nets. Giannis Antetokounmpo has now left early in his last 2 NBA games. Played a grand total of 6 and 7 minutes in those 2 over a week apart. One right before the break, one after the break. He is probable for this matchup. Didn't see that one coming, but here we are. Sort of like me doing videos on YouTube for a lot of strangers. Life comes at you fast, friends. And for the Nets, only Ben Simmons is out, which means 2023 Ben Simmons doesn't matter. So who cares? But for Tuesday, the Bucks opened at -5, which I'm tempted to back. But I'm holding out and waiting and hoping and praying and wishing this thing somehow moves to 4.5. Somehow, some way. Not likely, as lines tend to move in favor of Giannis because he's sort of good at basketball. Even -5, though. It's intriguing. I'm thinking about it. What the hell? We'll just lean that way too and move on, as there are no props out here yet, so nothing to break down on that front. And doubtful we'll find any sort of major value here, with plenty of time for the books to adjust to the Giannis probable tag. Some more to be determined here, but although it's a lean, I surely like it more than I like the Hawks play that started off our day. Just hoping I can somehow land 4.5. Hey guys, did you know I want to try to find 4.5? I want to try to find 4.5. Can I get a 4.5 out there? I can't. -5. I'll think about it. Moving on. All right. Now we get to the good stuff, some actual bets. We kick off the card with Bulls and Raptors. And welcome back, Fred VanVleet. He was dealing with a personal issue, but he's off the injury report, so we'll have a perfectly healthy Raptors squad for the first time in a while. But we also have a perfectly healthy Bulls squad that is 2-0 in the Patrick Beverley era. Get up on that table. Do your dance, son. Do your dance. Do your dance. And hey, those 2 wins have been emphatic wins, so maybe the defensive tenacity and hustle are paying off after all. I mean, him and Alex Caruso are a bit pesky as a duo in the backcourt, so that can create some problems for smaller opposition like they faced against Brooklyn and Washington. But besides Fred VanVleet, who's shorter than me at 6'1", the Raptors have size. Like, can they even start Caruso and Beverly together against this Raptors unit that will go most likely Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Jakob Poeltl against them? I say no, unless either Beverly or Caruso grows 6 inches overnight to handle Barnes, who is 6'8". So something tells me Patrick Williams might be sliding back into the starting lineup here. Hot take. After all, a lot easier to guard players 6 inches smaller than you than the other way around, because the basket's up high and they're down low. That's terrible analysis. So yeah, there you go. I want this on all your radars. Listen to me again. I'm looking at shorting Patrick Beverly or Alex Caruso the second the news drops. I'm going to have it in a tab. I'm going to be waiting on it. Hopefully I can guess right. Hard to know which of the two will get the start. My lean is towards Caruso. He's been with the team longer. But maybe Patrick Beverly, something that they feel comfortable just having him start. He's done it most of his career. But shorting either one of the current props would be my favorite plays on the day. Yes, the day, if you can react to that news in real time. And if you can't, if you're looking for the run-of-the-mill play, I do like here, it's Toronto at home laying the 4. Jakob Poeltl is so stupid good, and now that he's been unleashed, no longer with the Spurs, back with his original team, the Raptors, I expect this Raptors team to get better and better as he goes along. Betcher. It's a weird thing to say. Quite the hiccup there against the Cavs last game. Not what I just did, but no doubt, I'll be backing them here at home against this Bulls team. I repeat, though, keep an eye on those Beverly and Caruso props, as it would appear to me, books opened their lines assuming both would start, and I think there's a much greater than zero chance that only one of them does. So stay ready, my friends. In the meantime, -4 Toronto, I do like it. All right, friends, we got the UNC play across for all of you who signed up yesterday, but if you're signing up today, here is the play. Liberty, 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 liberty. Taking on Bellarmine. You want to fire that up on the money line. They're 17.5-point favorites. I don't even know where Bellarmine is. I don't even know if I know where Liberty's from, but I know Liberty's a fun thing to do. Liberty. There's fun to do bits. It was great. They're 17.5-point favorites. They're not losing a basketball game to this Bellarmine team. I don't know what else to say, but sign up. Put $5 on Liberty, and take advantage right now. Get yourself $150 in bonus bets over at DraftKings. If you have a gambling problem, just like I have a singing problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, back to the picks. Oh boy, Lakers fans. Lakers fans. You probably don't want to tune into this segment. LeBron James, out for an indefinite amount of time, played through an injury. Oh, everybody talking about how the NBA is soft. Don't play through injuries if you're LeBron James, dude. If you're actually hurt, something's actually hurting you in a very bad way. Just insane. I hate the Lakers, though, so I'm kind of okay with it. Just going to go out on the limb and say really, really bad for their prospects. They are now major minus money to miss the playoffs. Plus, for this game, D'Angelo Russell is doubtful, so yikes to this starting lineup. Yikes to this spread. 8.5 points. Not going to be fun for Lakers fans going forward. I mean, relying on Anthony Davis to stay healthy and be a god down the stretch, playing 35 minutes a night and avoiding injury? What could possibly go wrong? A lot. I'm going to say Lakers. 0 chance at the playoffs. 0. You heard it here first. Just pack it in, call it a day. You surrounded all this shooting around LeBron, and it doesn't matter no more. But back to Tuesday. They played the best defensive team in the league by just about every metric in Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr. insanely good at that said defense. Going to be guarding some Anthony Davis. John Moran hasn't even pushed himself minutes-wise because they're so loaded with talent around him. Desmond Bane, super serviceable. Tyus Jones is a backup point guard. Yeah, have fun, Lakers. You're officially terrible. So, give me the layup here with Memphis laying the 8.5. I'm not going to lock it. Would like to see D'Angelo Russell out. Kind of weird that matters, but I don't see this going well for them for the next few weeks. Might as well start now, invest now before we see what this team in construction looks like. Again, LeBron James, the patchwork. They did have a couple of serviceable games without him at the early going, but those were not on the road in Memphis. So walk in Memphis. God, I need to stop singing. Memphis minus 8.5. Like it. Don't like the singing. To the man, the myth, the legend, actually just legend. Nikola Jokic. The Nikola Jokic's taking on the Houston Rockets. I don't know what to say about this guy other than I love you, I love you, I love you. You're so great. He's so incredible. If you watch this guy play basketball, it's like getting to watch Mozart compose a symphony, like watching Van Gogh throw paint up against a wall, like listening to me do YouTube videos for lots of strangers. One of those is not like the other ones, but Nikola Jokic, 3-0 on Sunday, backing him, back the points, back the assists, and got the triple-double. So that was awfully lovely. He's going to face this Rockets team. They are tanking. They're not even like trying to hide it anymore. Alperen Şengün, they tried to just say, something about Silas talking about his pick and roll defense the other night. Oh, he was just getting torched by Lillard. Well, he didn't play in the entire fourth quarter, and Damian Lillard still scored 21 points in that frame. So riddle me that, Batman. Just saying, play your best offensive players. And if you want to develop young talent and he has issues defensively, maybe play him more in a season that's already lost. But my feeling is that they don't want him out there. They don't want to have to pay him more money if he goes out and puts up triple doubles after triple doubles like he probably would, because he's such a good offensive talent. But it's just one man's opinion. Let's just go to the other center then, shall we? Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. We're going to be waiting on that news. I think regardless, though, we just keep backing this triple-double. It's been an absolute print fest for us. I don't know how many times we've hit it in the last however many weeks. 3 of the last 4. I don't care about stuff like that. I know some people are like, oh, well, he's hit this number in however many. I don't think about it that way. I see Houston on the other side. I see a game that should be up in pace for Denver. I see an opportunity for him to play possibly without one Jamal Murray, and even still, think the assist rate, even though Jamal Murray has definitely cut into the assist rate a little bit, if he ends up sitting, which this is a prime spot to do, those assists become a lot easier for Jokic to rack up. So, assuming Jamal Murray out, lock, beyond lock, beyond lock, we just keep it on lockdown, like this is 2020, Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, triple-double, lock it up. Don't expect a line here anytime soon. De'Aaron Fox, questionable, but I should at least talk you through this one because that's kind of my job. Kings and Thunder in Oklahoma City. Just a lovely place. No SGA for the Thunder. That's not lovely. And I just said 2 seconds ago, Fox is questionable. Gigantic piece waiting in the wings, and not really a situation we've seen for the Kings in some time, but here's what they do. They bring Davion Mitchell off the bench to start. They keep Malik Monk in that Jamal Crawford-esque 6th-man role. He's so good at. You can sometimes get a little bit of value by taking unders of Monk in those spots. Doubt that's going to be the case based off of what we just saw in that Clippers shootout last Friday. What a basketball game. Probably game of the year. Probably game of the year on Friday. Even though defense, optional. That's usually what happens with Sacramento. But Davion Mitchell, a better defender than Fox, probably would make the total project out a little bit lower for me. I haven't done all of the math on that one for you yet because there's no total. Kind of want to compare it to my stuff. Also want to know De'Aaron Fox's injury status. These are a lot of things that are very, very important in the time being. What am I even saying? Don't listen to me. Sacramento money line. I'm leaning that direction. Really not liking OKC. Without SGA out there, they've been brutal to watch. Josh Giddey still doesn't see that big of a bump. It's very frustrating because he should. Whatever. Don't have to bet anything here yet, but I will definitely have interest in reacting to the Fox news. Couple of likes coming up here next. We've got the Pacers and the Mavericks, and as you know, the Mavericks don't really play fast, but we have an NA down here, and why would that be the case? Why do we not have no total here? Well, there's a couple of games that don't have totals because there's small pieces of injury news that matter. Maxi Kleber for the Dallas Mavericks, their defensive stalwart, questionable for this one. Generally, when somebody hasn't played since, I don't know, December 12th, and they get upgraded to questionable, they're probably playing basketball in that next day. So I expect Maxi Kleber to be on the court. More opportunity for them to not play Christian Wood. What a time to be alive. But the Pacers on the other side, perfectly healthy for the first time in a long time. But that just means it's all about that pace, people. I'm telling you, Pacers way up in that department, top 10. They are pretty flat in terms of adjusted offensive rating, defensive rating. Miles Turner's pretty good in the interior, but I'm actually just looking at Kyrie Irving as the guy that I want to highlight in this section because he's averaging north of 5 assists on the season, but a lot of that was with Brooklyn. Dallas is going to play fewer possessions, going to play slower. They are the slowest paced team in the entire NBA. Tied, actually, with Cleveland to be exact. But just saying, he's going to play 40 minutes a night because Dallas needs to win basketball games. They acquired him for a reason, and that is to give Luka Doncic a little bit of a break offensively, but also just being on the floor for 40 minutes a night. He's not the worst rebounding guard here, and you're not going to have a lot more Dwight Powell. They can go to some smaller Maxi Kleber lineups. I'm not saying he's going to have 11 boards like he did the other night against the Lakers in that competitive spot, which shouldn't have been competitive. They were up by 1 million, but I do see Kyrie Irving getting more than 4.5 rebounds here in this spot. I haven't projected north of 5. Part of that is the matchup going up against the Pacers, a little bit up in pace, but a lot of it is just in competitive games where he's going to play 38, 40 minutes. You're just going to run into the ball a lot over that time when you're Kyrie Irving. So I expect that rebound rate to still be north of 5 like it was in Brooklyn if he's playing this many minutes. Just something to be looking at. 4.5, I like it. You thought that play was off the board. How about this one? We're going to the Spurs. We're going to talk the Jazz as well. And the Spurs, these injury reports, I'm just telling you. Devin Vassell still out. Trey Jones, we're still waiting on if he could play. He got upgraded to questionable. I don't know. They don't care about winning basketball games. That's why you see a 9-point spread. It's perfectly effective. It's going to be 9-point spreads against a lot of mediocre teams like the Jazz. But Utah, probably in a spot where they want to start winning some basketball games now, because with this Lakers news, that could really push them to the back of the pack in the West. And Utah could find themselves to have a surge here, still without Sexton. And now they'll also be without Jordan Clarkson in this game. So I'm actually looking at Talen Horton-Tucker, somebody who's going to be on the floor a lot. Played 35 minutes against OKC. Only played 24 against the Spurs last game. They literally played the same team last time. But you saw a blowout pretty early. And they had Chris Dunn come in and play some serviceable minutes. Yeah, Chris Dunn. Dun, 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 dun. That's not going to happen all the time. Also, that bit was horrible. But Talen Horton-Tucker is going to play north of 30 minutes if this game is remotely competitive. I know it's a 9-point spread, and that's a big maybe, but he's been chucking some threes in some of these spots. 5, 6, 3 since he's been in the starting lineup. I'm all about attempts. I don't really care the fact that he had converted on 2 of those 3. That's not something I care about. It's all about opportunity when you talk 3-point props. And then, of course, what that line is, barely above the standard minus 110 juice over at DK right now. Talen Horton-Tucker over 1.5 threes. My favorite play from Spurs and Jazz. We'll be paying attention to some of that news here. Maybe they shake up a starting lineup. I very highly doubt it. Probably playing alongside Clarkson could be Chris Dunn. Who knows? But generally not as good of a fantasy performer. Generally not as good of a stat hog as like what we saw last time from Chris Dunn. And if you get a Baji out there who does literally nothing, that's the absolute nuts. He was good at Kansas. Don't know what happened. But Spurs, Jazz, Talen Horton-Tucker. Tucker. Talen Horton-Tucker. Shout out Iowa State again. Over 1.5 threes. We head to Portland and Golden State next, and there's no total here either. It's another NA. A lot of those popping up here with totals today. It's a weird phenomenon, but we just saw Damian Lillard confirmed decent at basketball. I'm very upset with myself going up against Houston that I didn't jam that. Anthony Simons continuing to be out. Lillard's just going to have all the opportunity to chuck in all the land and really doesn't have to do anything else, but just go out and Jordan Poole guarding him. This is already hilarious to me. Oh God, I might end up on some Lillard props. We might end up there, but in the meantime, I don't really find all that much appealing here. We got to wait on some major news. Yusuf Nurkic, he's been out for a while. Sounds like he could give it a go here in this one. Nothing confirmed there. And then Draymond Green on the Golden State side, he's coming back for this one. So pretty efficient on that side of it. I think Lillard props, but Golden State is my lean on the money line. I'm not really sure what to do with this game as of right now. Need to probably put in a little bit. Put in that work, Devin. Don't give up. That was a good commercial. I don't know what I'm doing today. Golden State, money line, lean. I have nothing else to say. And we go out with a play here. As you could tell, only one lock. Nikola Jokic seems like a good guy to lock, but I like this spot. Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, and I don't know what Ty Lue is doing right now. His coaching is just, I don't know. At least they didn't close with Russell Westbrook last time out, because that was getting to be a little egregious in Denver there. Only played 25 minutes and, had 5 steals. It was pretty weird. Oh, he's playing so good. I don't know. They need to definitely close with Terrence Mann. And now Ivica Zubac, he's questionable. So now you could go to Plumlee as the true backup center. I'm very curious to see what happens with Russell Westbrook's minutes. Might be looking at shorting them. And I will say, in the meantime, they got to keep this experiment going. You just went out to go get him. You started him right from the get-go. Russell Westbrook's not a winning basketball player at this point, as much as it pains me to say it, because I love watching him play. He's a psychopath, but I'm looking at Minnesota here right now. We got to wait once again, Rudy Gobert for the 498,362nd game in a row. He will be questionable entering this one. I think he's going to get upgraded to probable. I think he's going to be playing against the Clippers. And I think with backcourt mate Mike Conley there, I think it's going to project out really, really nicely for him going forward from an offensive perspective. And we know this Clippers team, they have tripped up Rudy Gobert in a Utah Jazz uniform back in the day in the playoffs. They go to small ball lineups. They try to stretch him out to the perimeter, and Marcus Morris knocks down shots. Here's the big problem here. Marcus Morris is a lot worse at basketball these days than what he ever was before. So we are going to the Minnesota plus 6.5 side, the revenge of Rudy Gobert. I have to go. Plus 6.5 Minnesota. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. So you know what to do. Head to that comment section below. Sign up for DraftKings. Put $5 on, win 150. Reminder, Liberty, put $5 on that one if you haven't signed up yet. Check out the premium Discord. We're firing off bets, talking bets all day there. All of that is great stuff. So until tomorrow, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.